We are IPOB under one central command, under one leadership, under one directorate, under one coordination over the world. There is only one indigenous people of Biafra. We are aware now. They want to establish fake groups. They want to deceive you. They want to cheat you. Some idiots may answer IPOB, but you must understand they are not one of us. It is the same thing as Boko Haram wearing police and army uniform to go and kill people. These people are part of us and can never ever be. How will the products of ABC? These are evil men and little boys. We must counter them whenever we see them. They are not IPOB. We have no government. The government of the indigenous people of Biafra is the indigenous people of Biafra. So when the time comes, Biafrans will vote and decide who will govern them. Until then, we are not a government. We are servants of the people, as we shall continually demonstrate. Allow me to repeat what I said before. We are not a government, I tell you. I must warn and caution you. We are the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. There is no government, there is no addition. Of course, we have an embassy, that is true. That embassy is not an organization. We don't run any website apart from IPOB.org. We don't have any other radio station on this earth apart from Radio Biafra. I'm aware that I was set up with ABD Okurawasa. They set up one or two radio stations to answer our name as part of their subterfuge and ocean provocateur. But they will not prevail, they will not succeed. They cannot have the heat because we are ordained, baptized in this very fire of truth and honesty. That is why we preach it without compromise. There is no other way to do it. We are the children of light. That is why we have come. Or should I say, that is why Chukwukika Biama determined that we should come. That is why this evening, as always, we must preach his gospel. No particular. We must preach it to the fullest. Only those who are blessed can partake or participate. Only those that seek knowledge. Only those that seek the light. Only those that seek the truth. The seekers of wisdom, the seekers of knowledge are welcome to partake and participate. Or else you are a non-entity. Here we assembled.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone. You are welcome to this program. While you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join. We are here back again to continue where we stopped the last time. We are live and we are direct. The time now stands on 2 minutes on top of the hour. In Biafra land, where there is 0 latitude, where there is 0 longitude, it is 2 minutes past 7 o'clock in Biafra land. Today, the 13th of August, 2023. We are live and direct. While you are joining us, share this video, invite others to join. Wherever you are watching from, share the video, invite others to join. We are actually here to discuss, touch on a lot of things that is the challenges we are facing as Africans, as Biafrans. So it is very, very necessary that we continue to thwart our problem, because if we are not able to thwart our problem will continue to overwhelm us. And this problem that we are actually thwarting, it is a problem that we must solve in this generation. Because if we fail to solve this problem in this generation, it is going to continue to haunting us. It will continue haunting us, and our next generation will continue to cry. So that is the reason why we have come again to continue advocating for African freedom and African revolution. Let's find out if we are coming out clear. One moment. Okay, I believe we are coming out clear. We are coming out clear. First of all, let us look at what we are going to be touching on this evening, morning, afternoon, depending on where you are watching from. If you look at the video, the poster in front of you, you will see a poster of African Union, you will see a poster of European Union, you will see a poster of Kamala Harris, you will see a poster of Tinubu, you will see a poster of the BRICS bloc, you will see a poster of the Senate President in Nigeria. Of course, you know there was a statement that he made recently, which is the segment where they shared money amongst themselves and they call it is for their recess. So we are going to talk about the response that they have given after the backlash that we have thrown on them. We are going to actually, come back to it to see exactly what was their response and how are they working to, escape this, biggest scandal of these people. It is a bigger scandal, but they are trying to downplay it, but we are not going to allow them to downplay it. And secondly, you will see the picture of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must be released. Like I told you initially, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have no case to answer. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a free man. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been, seen a free man by the court, including the state execution and the plan that they have put in place to continuously detain him. But now, like I said, the appeal court, they have nothing against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and they will continue to have nothing against him. But we are waiting to see what is going to be their verdict in the coming weeks. What is going to be their verdict in the coming weeks? Because we have proven beyond every reasonable doubt that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is actually an innocent man, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not the one that is perpetrating all this shenanigans happening in Biafra land. And the continuous detention of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is going to be a proving factor that these people that are perpetrating this ordeal in our land, those that are actually making our people suffer in the name of sit at home and in the name of the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu release. If the appeal court refuses to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the upcoming court case, it will be a proof that the Nigeria government, Nigeria state, is the one perpetrating every atrocities that is being, happening in Biafra land. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not released, this upcoming case that is, this upcoming court that is coming in the month of September, which is few weeks time, it will be an evidence that this federal government, than the justice system of Nigeria, they are the ones who is bringing all these atrocities, destruction of people, businesses, the sit-at-home enforcement, and all this criminality in Biafra land in the name of release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Because the easiest way, since they claim that it is one Nigeria and they have seen that what is happening in the eastern region, they claim it is on the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Therefore, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not released in September, the next coming case, we will see it. We will not assume. We will confirm our investigation that the federal government is the one enforcing sit at home through the criminal in Finland. We have already the answer, but we want to confirm it to the world because we have seen the energy where it is coming from. We have investigated, we have seen the energy where it is coming from. Like I said last month, that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is discharged and acquitted, and the appeal court, they investigated the verdict that was given by the same appeal court but different judges, who was ostracized immediately after they delivered such judgment on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu extraordinary rendition. So the same appeal court have scrutinized the case and the verdict and found out that there is nothing against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that the verdict is actually authentic and it is given within the ambit of the law and cannot be reversed. So anything that they are going to tell us that is contrary to what I am saying right now on September, it is going to be as a result of them trying to destroy the land of Biafra. Anything that is going to be opposite of this thing that I just said, because it is already proven that the appeal court of Nigeria can no longer hold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, except if there is any energy coming from somewhere. We know very well and we are aware that Britain orchestrated the extraordinary rendition of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Britain knows very well they cannot do it in Britain, because if they do it in Britain, there is a law that will work against whoever the perpetrator is going to be in Britain. That's why Britain gave the information to Kenya government, make sure that they law Kenya government into this problem that they have placed against an African activist. Because the plan, fear of the West is to make sure they silence everybody who is speaking the voice of the people in Africa. And that's why the Britain decided under Boris Johnson, they decided that they will make sure, sell the security information of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu by giving out the information of his movement to Nigeria authority. From there, knowing that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is going to Kenya, they gave that security information in order to apprehend him, in order for the enemy of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, which is the enemy of the truth, to apprehend him in Kenya. And since that time, he's been placed in a solitary confinement just because he is calling for equity, justice, and fairness. Just because we haven't found one and we are calling for disintegration of Nigeria, because Nigeria is created for benefit of Britain, for profit for Britain, not anything profit for any black person that is domiciled in Nigeria or that is actually coming out from that British creation. The amalgamation of 1914 is exactly path to British neo-colonialism. That is the reason why we are going to be talking about many things today. That is the reason why you see pipelines, because if you look at what is happening in Niger Republic today, you will understand that the leverage that Niger Republic have against Nigeria, against the Europeans, it is evidence that the reason why Nigeria is in the forefront to make sure that they restore the president, the president of Niger Republic back to the position of power. It is actually, two things. They are so scared that the military coup will actually extend to Nigeria because of their corruption, because of their election malpractices, because of their incompetencies. They are so scared that it might influence Nigeria to go for the same thing. There was a memo released few months ago about potential military coup in Nigeria. So that thing is a biggest fear of Nigeria, because they know they don't practice democracy. They are well aware that they do not practice democracy. They practice anarchy. They do whatever they want. So, having seen that the military coup is now going to change every agreement made by the ousted president of Niger Republic within this agreement or MOU that was written and signed by Nigeria, Britain, by Nigeria, Europe, and the Niger Republic, as well as Algeria. Because the pipeline you see here, that the pipeline project that is going to travel from Nigeria. If you look at this, you will see the pipeline. It is going to travel from Nigeria to Niger Republic, from Niger Republic to Algeria, from Algeria to Europe. That is where the pipeline is going to go. So that gas pipeline that is going to pass through Niger Republic is now a leverage for Niger Republic against Nigeria and even their European counterpart. Because if you look at it, this pipeline, this MOU was signed in 2022. The MOU for the pipeline was signed in 2022. Immediately after the Nord Stream pipeline was, blown. The Nord Stream pipeline was blown. That's why you saw the likes of the Europe, Germany, and all that started sourcing for fossil fuel, which is coal. They were looking for fossil fuel during winter, the last winter, which is now few months going back to winter now. Less than 4 months, they will be in winter again. And being in winter again, it is not going to be easy for them if they do not have an adequate supply of this gas. Because it is going to enable them to switch on their heater. Now, when you are understanding, you are seeing what's going on right now, you see the pipeline is going to come from Warri. Listen, The pipeline that is going to Europe from Nigeria, it is going to come from Warri now to Niger Republic, from Niger Republic to Algeria, from Algeria to now Europe. That is the plan for the pipeline that you have seen in this picture. If you are joining us, wherever you are joining us, share the video. Oh, Mazichina Samoru will come online soon. For real. I didn't know. Let's see. Just one moment. Let's find out what's going on in Radio Biafra. Oh. Okay, there are. Okay. All right, we are going to join the broadcast. Then we will maybe postpone this one for after the broadcast or tomorrow, because let's. All right, we are going to connect with Radio Biafra very soon. So thank you for the information. Who gave me that information? Let me find out. Raphael Adolf, thank you for that information. We are going to connect to Radio Biafra shortly. Once Mazichina Samoru comes online. So like I was saying, if you understand exactly what's going on, let me actually take on one topic. This gas line agreement, it is something that is very, very important to Europe and Nigeria. This gas line, I'm going to actually bring up the arrangement, the MOU that was signed. But because we don't have time, we are going to actually treat one of this topic before Mazichina Samoru comes online. I believe it's gonna be with us in 10 minutes. You saw in the Niger Republic, they have bombed the Nigeria embassy in Niger Republic as Nigeria continue to present themselves, to be the ones fighting on behalf of European and on behalf of the US. They are actually losing out big time. Just like we all know that the electricity they have switched off. Algeria is actually allegedly going to supply Niger Republic free electricity. Algeria is going to supply them free electricity. But the most thing that we don't understand is what is going to be the reason why Algeria is going to give them free electricity. Now you will understand that in this regard, there are many things that Nigeria is going to lose in Niger Republic. That is the reason why, they are not even going to lose a lot. They are not going to lose a lot. The people who are losing a lot is the European, because the gas pipeline is going to be in the benefit of European. And the Russian president actually said that recently that if they use military force to go into Niger Republic, It is indeed going to destabilize the whole of ECOWAS region. That it is going to destabilize the whole of ECOWAS region. That was what Russian president said. But now, that pipeline that is going to pass through Niger Republic, if they are not going to restore the incumbent president to this position of power, that means that the MOU signed by Nigeria for pipeline to run from Warri to Europe, it is going to be null and void, except if the military decide that they want to resign that agreement. So it is very, very important for you to know where this pipeline is going to come from. It is coming from Warri. That is where the pipeline is going to come from. So let me actually read it. Let me read it. The information of the pipeline, and we are going to post. We are going to join Radio Biafra. Now listen to it. Listen to it. Algeria, Niger, Nigeria revive talks on Saharan gas pipeline. Niamey, June 22. Algeria, Niger, and Nigeria held talks this week on the revival of the decades-old project of to pipe gas across the Sahara. A potential opportunity for Europe to diversify its gas source. Did you hear what it says? A potential opportunity for Europe to diversify gas source, because the Nord Stream pipeline has been blown. The three countries have set up a task force for the project and designated an entity to update the feasibility study, said Niger's oil ministry in the statement on Wednesday, following a two-day meeting in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The Trans-Sahara gas pipeline is an estimated $13 billion project that could send up to 30 billion cubic meter a year of supplies to Europe. The idea was first proposed more than 40 years ago, and an agreement signed between the countries in 2009, but progress stalled. The revival comes at a strategic time as the European Union seeks to wean itself off Russian gas following Russia's invasion of Ukraine and is seeking alternative source. So Nigeria is the big gun that is going to replace Russia in disseminating gas across Europe. Now, you will understand that all these things is the reason why, because they know that to diversify their problem and of Russia, of their natural gas problem, they have to look other places, and the only place that they have found is Nigeria. So if Nigeria is going to help them to diversify such problem, and they are going to be the person to replace the gas coming from Russia to Europe, that is the reason why the talks and the agreement or arrangement was actually they resuscitated the agreement, the MOU, and the plan they had 40 years ago. They resuscitated it 2022 to build, and the project commenced. The pipeline is now being planted. That is the reason why the military coup is a problem to Europe. It is a big problem to Europe. Now, guess what? What they are using now, it is not about trying to fight their problem by themselves, or trying to, because of course they will not force in Niger Republic. It is a sovereign nation. If they decide to actually go back from the MOU, if they decide to say no, the MOU does not stand again, that we are not going to allow this pipeline, which is exactly what is going to happen. We are not going to allow this pipeline to pass through our nation in order to go to help European, when Europe is the one fighting Niger Republic so that they will restore their stooge back to the position of power, so that economic exploitation will continue to go. That is the reason why you will see, why is Nigeria so poor today? Nigeria is not having electricity. Nigeria does not have electricity, and Nigeria have the most a green generation electricity infrastructure. Nigeria electricity infrastructure is a green electricity. It is called hydro generation. Electricity generation is what Nigeria is using, but yet Nigeria cannot even maintain it to make sure that there is electricity in Nigeria. Even the Niger Republic, they gave electricity, which they run to switch off their electricity. Niger Republic does not even enjoy electricity because electricity just come and go. It's even worse than what's going on in Nigeria. Nigeria is having electricity generating plant that has a capacity to generate 12,522 megawatts electricity. But what is Nigeria generating? Nigeria is using only 4,000 megawatts electricity from their hydro power generating plant. Only 4,000 out of 12,522 megawatts. What is sabotage? Who is now sabotaging Nigeria energy? Who is making you not to have electricity in Nigeria? Because everybody, they know very well that if electricity is in Nigeria, it is easy for Nigeria to be industrialized. If you have an electricity, steady electricity, industrialization of Nigeria is something that is going to come easy. That is the reason why out of 12,000 grid, 12,000 is not even enough for these 190 something homes in Nigeria. 190 something million homes in Nigeria. 12,000 megawatts is not enough. But look at it, they are using 4,000 megawatts. 4,000 megawatts. Which is, how many homes is he going to power? When like 400 to 800 homes, they will be consuming 1,000 megawatts. 400 to 800 homes will be consuming 1,000 megawatts per year. Now you look at the population of Nigeria, who is causing the lack of electricity in Nigeria. But they are going to be building pipeline that will pass from Niger to supply gas that will help these people to have a greener energy, which is going to help them to have power their electricity grid. Recently, they said that they have added another, or was it another 12,000 to the grid, to the national grid of the electricity in Nigeria. Where is it? Where is it? Do you have steady electricity? The answer is no. Now, if they have added 12,000 to the national grid, which is going to make it 24,000 megawatts, 24,000 megawatts. Or if I'm not mistaken, either 11,000 was added to the grid, which is going to give you 22,000 megawatts of electricity. Now, guess what? The NESI, which is NESI, now they had a problem that they ended up actually, retrenching everybody that is actually in their board, because they could not manage it. There was a sabotage. that is making sure that Nigeria does not have electricity. And now the money that they have taken to, fund that project, they had to now give that contract more to the bank who funded them more money for the project to manage it. There has been a lot of uncertain, things that is happening in Nigeria that is actually uncalled for. Things that these things shouldn't be happening where there is a good governance, where there is enforcement. These things cannot happen in a normal society, but it happens in Nigeria. Why is it happening in Nigeria? Because there can never be industrialization in Nigeria. If Nigeria can be industrialized, there is nothing like we are going to China to buy a generator. There is nothing like we are going to Europe to buy this. All those things will be manufactured there in Nigeria. And industrialization of Nigeria will make people to look for Naira in Nigeria. But it will never happen as long as Nigeria is still under British manipulation and control. There will never be a successful project that will take place in Nigeria. The same way that small Niger Republic decided they want to come out from this shackle in order to actually take their destiny for themselves, by themselves, in order to tackle their problem, to look for how to make sure that they diversify the problem that is making them to be poor, even though they have what it takes to be the richest country in the world. But now, in the quest to diversify their problem, they had to go through a coup d'etat in order to remove the stooge that the Europeans are using against them. Now, in doing so, the European stooge, which is Nigeria, decided that they will not allow such thing to take place. They will not allow such thing to take place. That is the reason why they were giving Tinubu, they saw this coming. They gave Tinubu the leader of ECOWAS so that he will lead that war. Once they lead that war to Niger Republic, fighting for ECOWAS, fighting for European Union, and while they are fighting it, they will be supplying them weapons from Europe, and they will undersupply these people. Maybe they will supply both sides to make sure that there will be no peace in that area, while all these natural resources will be exploited, because you have to use it to pay them for the weapon they are supplying you. Because that is what they want. That is what their need is. Your want is the weapon, which you cannot manufacture, which you cannot even, assess the best of them. So they have to now do you trade by barter, exploring your resources, giving you the minimum, they will equip both sides to make sure they destabilize that area in sub-Saharan where the most resources they are looking for is found. Because so many people believe that Tinubu is running. Tinubu knows that there is so many indictment on him. There is so many indictment on him. Tinubu is an impersonator from Chicago. Tinubu impersonated his somebody who is called Bola Tinubu. He impersonated such person in Chicago University. That is exactly what this guy Atiku is going to use against him, because he impersonated somebody who died, a female who died. It is just because we don't have much time. If we had much time, we are going to break it down, but definitely tomorrow we are going to break these things down for you to know the type of president you have in position of power. Why do you think he will not be a stooge to the West? Why do you think he will not be a stooge to France? Why do you think he will not be a stooge to USA? Everything that is going to help those nations to thrive, Tinubu will be their stooge, because he is under their control. There is too much leverage against Tinubu that the West have. If they indeed Tinubu decide to say no, oil theft in Nigeria will no longer happen, or if there is any exploitation happening in Nigeria, Tinubu cannot fight it because they have a lot on him. Tinubu impersonated a lady who in Chicago University, he actually tapped the result of he forged the result. That's why he could not go to Chicago University to get the real certificate, because he was not the one who attended the university. These are the type of people they have installed to be your president. This is part of the reason why Africa will remain poor, because whoever that is going to sponsor them under their democracy, it is all about somebody who has a criminal record. Once they introduce this criminal record, they must have gathered every evidence against this person who is going to be the next stooge of the West in order to continue economic exploitation on Africa. They will select somebody who has a criminal record, they will tell him, no, we are going to protect you. We will use our media to push everything, your agenda, anything that comes out against you. We will use our media to cover it up. We will use our power to cover it up, but you will continue to be our stooge. How do you think these power mongers will lead you to economic stability? And this type of approach they are using against African countries like Nigeria, it will never cease to exist. It will never ever cease to exist, because it is the heartbeat of Europe and America. They will be all doing all that, and then they will bring out, once they continue to exploit you, the next thing they will say, they are giving you aid, financial aid. They will introduce to you Oxfam, financial aider. They will introduce to you UNICEF, financial aider. They will introduce to you Red Cross, financial aider, Life Aid. All of them, they will introduce to you in the name that they are giving you financial aid. But there is no such thing. It is all about robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's all about robbing Peter to pay Paul. If Africa decide to say now we are going through a revolution process right now, if Africa decide to go through a revolution process right now, you will find how bankrupt Europe and America will become. Because it will not take them time to finish. They are very extravagant to finish what they have stolen. And that is the reason why they will continue to steal. They will never stop this stealing, economic exploitation. They will never stop it. And in your own nation, you will never find anybody looking for your currency. Your currency will be like a baby next to dollar. Why is Nigeria currency 1 to 900? $1 is 900 to a Nigeria currency. Because no one is looking for Nigeria currency to trade. Why? Nigeria does not have any production. Nigeria is not actually a producing nation. They are actually importing. They are dependent on other nations to import everything that is needed into Nigeria, importing their inflation. What actually, make a currency of a nation strong? It is how many people that are using it to trade. How can you use Nigeria Naira to trade? How can you use Nigeria Naira to trade when there is nothing that is being produced? There are nothing produced in Nigeria. Nigeria oil is the only thing that is tradable, that is actually a commodity that is going out of Nigeria. The real reason why Nigeria can never trade with their currency, Nigeria Naira will never be strong next to dollar, pounds, or euro. It is because other commodities that are supposed to be traded in Naira, other commodities such as californium, other commodities such as their uranium, other commodities such as their iron, other commodities such as their timber, all these things are It is not, most of these things are traded in black market. It is traded in black market. Nigeria is not in charge of all this trade. That is the reason why Naira will continue to be devalued. It will never be strong because you are a dependent nation. You depend on other nations to import everything you need, including clothes, including shoes. Aba is making shoes. Nigeria will never bring support because they are Biafrans. That is the reason why you will never move forward. They will never bring support to give to Aba, so that Aba will be manufacturing shoes, including the shoes that will be exported. That is the reason why we want Biafra, because we have seen our potential, and that our potential is no match to Nigeria plan. Nigeria does not have plans for our potential. Nigeria does not even have plans for its own potential. Talk more of having plan to, for our potentials. So for us to actually diversify our problem, which is all these economic challenges, for us to diversify it, and all this making our people running away from the economy because the economy is excluding them, we must have Biafra. The disintegration of Nigeria is a diversification of every problem that people who are living in that region have. Once Nigeria is disintegrated, remember that a new agreement will be signed, a new constitution will be will be written. Different people are going to form their new alliances. That alliance that you have with Britain, that alliance you have with Britain and other European countries, it will be null and void. That is the reason why they are fighting tooth and nail using all the ECOWAS region. That is the reason why they want to build a pipeline, gas pipeline, that is going to come from Warri to all the ECOWAS region to even to Europe from Biafra land. From Biafra land. The gas is coming from Biafra land. It is not coming from Nigeria. Yet they want to take it. But there is no seaport in Biafra land. There is no international airport in Biafra land. Forget all these things. They build this, they build that. How many planes is leaving from there in every day? It is not recognized. The one the devil Omahi built, that is making him to tell you, no, we are not Biafra. When we were marginalized, this and that the Ebonyi state has been marginalized. By whom? One thing that we need to understand is that we need to remove the hands of Europeans, the hands of the West on Africa, before we will be able to thrive. And the only way we can do it is only through revolution. If we will have a revolution today, that is where Africa is going to be free. A leaderless revolution, because now if you see what is going on, each and every time you want to try to do something that is going to help Africa to thrive, they will introduce a factionalism. They will introduce factionalism to destroy it. Using the people that you call your leaders. If a revolution will take place in Africa right now, believe you me, Africa will be rich. Africa will do better in the next 1 decade. In the next 1 decade, you will see a lot of changes coming to Africa. But because there is no, people are actually less concerned with regards to the problem that you are having in Africa. Being less concerned with regards to the problem you are having, you will continue to die in Mediterranean Sea. You will continue to die in Sahara Desert, trying to cross over to Europe. Europe have nothing. Europe is actually a parasite on Africa. They are parasites on Africa, because if we have to now say we will no longer allow any resources coming out of Africa to any other nation, Europe will go bankrupt. They have a lot of debt. They will not be able to pay it, especially the United States. They have a lot of debt. They will not be able to pay it. More than $500 trillion. How are they going to pay it if not exploiting Africa? Yet they will continue to tell you they are going to give you financial aid. We are going to join Radio Biafra because Martina Sanworu is already here. We are going to be joining Radio Biafra in the next 2 minutes, in the next 1 minute, because Martina Sanworu is arriving in the next 1 minute. So, if we want to solve our problem, our economic challenges in Africa, we remove all these people we call our leaders that are actually, blocking us from economic growth. Because these are the people that are destroying our economic growth and stability. We cannot work with these people. We cannot work with the existential, structure. Because all of them were created by Europeans. They were created by Europeans. We are not anti-Europeans, but we must be able to have a level ground whereby everybody will be equal in a trading ground. Where everybody will be equal, you cannot determine what is going to come out of my land or how it is going to be used. Because nobody is from Africa going to Europe to determine what they are going to do with what they have there. That is the reason why we the indigenous people of Biafra, we are friends of BRICS. BRICS bloc. We are friends of BRICS. And the one thing that is going to, you are going to understand is that they want to use ECOWAS. There is something that is going on, trying to use ECOWAS bloc to tackle or to find a way to fight any country in Africa that is going to be a member of BRICS. That's why they made Nigeria the chairperson of ECOWAS. If you look at it, the French president was pursuing and trying his luck. He wanted to join BRICS. He even wanted to attend BRICS summit that is taking place in Johannesburg in South Africa. He was pushing it. But the last time I checked, I think they denied him of the invitation. We know what BRICS stands for. That is the reason why we are going to stand with BRICS. Because BRICS is anti-imperial. It's anti-imperialism. It is anti-imperialism. That is the reason why we are going to, continue to support them. Immediately when we become a nation, we become part of BRICS. Let's join the Radio Biafra. We will talk about this more tomorrow.
Can you hear me? Yes, now your voice is coming out now. Before your voice was not coming out. Go on. Okay. Yeah, I think I was on mute. Good evening. Good evening, and good evening, fellow Biafrans and all the lovers of freedom. My name is Martina Sanworu. Martina Sanworu served the indigenous people of Biafra as a member of the Directorate of State. Good evening. I come to you people to continue to spread gospel for the restoration of Biafra, to educate our people and inform our people and make certain clarifications when people say they are confused, so they won't be confused.
Unfortunately, our radio was having some technical issues, and the former could not be able to fix it at that particular time. But later on, when he came in, he realized there was an attack on the radio, and I hope they have rectified any technical difficulty we might have witnessed on that particular day. This evening, there is nothing much to talk, rather than to make certain clarification, make certain pronouncement, and educate our people to know what is ahead of them and what we have to pay our attention more on. This evening, I'm going to separate our program just in two ways only. The issues that have been making waves on the social media the past few weeks over the document Onindo wrote, the letter he wrote, and all the brouhaha surrounding that letter. All the challenges, all the lies, blackmail, pedal against the leadership of this movement in the absence just to destroy the movement. But one thing is very clear. Our hands are clean. We have come with a genuine heart. Many Biafrans are fighting this struggle with a genuine heart. And this evening, I will hammer on those things once more. I am someone, people cannot lie against me. I am not one of those you can lie against him and I will keep silent. You can't lie against me. I will confront you head on because I know I have no skeleton in my cupboard. I have nothing to hide in this struggle. People who are always interacting with me or people who are dealing with me in anything I do, I am a straightforward person. A man of self-accountability and deep-rooted in morality. And that is why I have come so long. This is my 10th year in this struggle. Some people came up, they said, we don't know it. You don't know me because you have not been in this struggle. You came in last year, you say you don't know Tirasamoru because you came last year, or you just jumped into this struggle. Who is a member of IPOB for many years now that do not know who is Tirasamoru? Is it because we don't wear suits and come out on social media to speak? Everybody have what he have to do. This journey is still a very long journey, and those who are not sensible enough, who are not strategically enough, will never make it to the end. Those who have come with a greedy mind, with a criminal mindset, will never make this journey to the end. Of course, death may come along the way. It doesn't mean that everybody who will fall along the way is because of his criminal mind. But those I am referring to, it is very, very clear, and they know themselves. So this evening, I will put up our discussion in two different stages. It will be the internal issues, the blackmail, or everything that is rocking the lies peddled against many top leadership of this movement, and also what is happening in our borders, how it's going to affect us, and why we must everybody get prepared on what is about to come. Everything is approaching very fast. They know the reason why they take away Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is because of days like this. Because they know what is going to happen. That is why they continue to set up people who will come to disrupt you, people who will come to make you continue to shout on the social media, your papa, your mama. You don't know when things are happening. people who will come out and always ask you, what are you doing for Mazen Namdekano to come out? And they have never done anything themselves. At least let them do. If they say we have not done anything, what have they done by themselves? What have they done? Or what are they doing? They can only come on social media and tell you, what are you people doing? Because they don't know. And at the moment you tell them, their chief infiltrators, they will pass information for him, they will come out and use it as a program and run. Do you understand me? Stole idea to go to pronounce so that people who are watching content creation will be able to surround and they will make money through YouTube. Before they come to Facebook, before they come to social media, before he came out from the village where he's living, in Scandinavia, some of us has been here. And it is because we are here, many of us, that is what he did, and he came out. But today, people have seen how they are working tirelessly, sponsored by the Nigerian government and the DSS, to make sure they destroy this movement, which they have failed. Biafrans, I'm telling you, in a couple of months' time, the government, everybody have to be at watch out, because they are bringing up a new person. We don't know where the person is still coming from, the angle he's going to do his attack, because they have concluded that this guy could not deliver the mission. The chief infiltrator has failed. He could not deliver the mission. You see him now all over. Do you understand me? Shouting everywhere. They wake up, they shouted. The other one, the sibling of Onyendu cannot write without calling Chinasamoru. You know, the hotel, the Chinasamoru hotel. This is only, they sleep and wake up Chinasamoru. Because they know there are people whom they cannot cajole, or whom they cannot push or compromise, or who they can open eyes and talk to. And for that reason, in order not to waste much of the time here, I will hand over this mic to you, so that we will start this program and people will be educated this evening. They will be informed. They will understand what is happening in this struggle. I want to filter their mind, for them to zero their mind and understand that all we are doing is to make sure that Mazen Namdekano is free from the detention. We make sure that we keep moving until Biafra is restored, and make sure we keep this family, because if we fail, the Biafra struggle is gone for this generation. Thank you, Mazi Chinede.
We must continue. Mazi, I want us to start from where you mentioned. You talked about the letter of Mazi Namdekano through Barrister Aloy Ejimako. It was delivered. I know it looks as if out of is it frustration? I can say, or anything.
But your voice is cracking. I'm not hearing you very well. Your voice is cracking.
Can you hear me? Yeah, it is raining heavily here. Can you hear me now, Mazi? Mazi Nasa, can you hear me?
Mazi, I could not hear you. I cannot hear you, but I'm hearing you now. You understand me? I don't know if you can repeat the question you were saying, so it will.
Yeah, I said. Yes, I said. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now clearly?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was saying. Let us start from where you started, where you mentioned before. About the letter of Mazi Namdekano, to the extent that he used his hand to write letter and deliver through Barrister Ejimako, which he did, and many other things that followed. But I want to understand, also, we saw about the statement of Benjamin Madubugu that visited Mazi Namdekano finally. He mentioned that anything that comes from, including Mazi Ejimako, is from him. But people are asking now, what is the basis of attacking Mazi Ejimako? Please, we need clarification. People need clarification. What is the basis of attacking Ejimako in this issue? Please, that is the first thing I want to. Please, somebody is calling Mazi. I don't know when people are calling. When people are calling. Mazi, I don't know whether you understand me. Somebody called this line. Yes. That was what put it on hold. Do you hear what I said? Do you hear what I said?
Yes, I hear you very well, very clearly.
Yeah, please go on.
So, okay, Mazi. Okay. If you can mute from your side so that I can't get any. Thank you, Mazi. It's very clear now. Mazi, let me start from the question you just threw right now. Mazi Benjamin, this is completely 2 years. The leadership have tried all they could for Mazi Benjamin to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the detention facility. Many people have fought against it. Last month, the leadership also spent money to make sure that Mazi Jonathan, when Onyendu wanted to see him, Onyendu want to hear from him, because all this while, those who go to tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu about IPOB, mainly his siblings. The siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are the ones that goes to tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the barristers, that is, the barristers, if we send them message, and we don't know other messages they used to drop for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But it is only Benjamin Madubugu, whom we know is an IPOB member. He went to prison because of this trouble. And for 2 years, we have tried. On many occasions, they labeled him all kind of things. They bring confusions. And all these things they did was to make sure that Benjamin don't visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because we know if Benjamin visits Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as an IPOB member, he knows the structure, he knows everything. At least he can be able to tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what is happening outside the four walls of the DSS dungeon. Mazi, am I coming out? He's saying my connection lost. I don't know if it's affecting the. Tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what is happening outside the four walls of the DSS dungeon. Mazi, am I coming out? He's saying my connection lost. I don't know if it's affecting the. Tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what is happening outside the four walls of the DSS dungeon. Mazi, am I coming out? He's saying my connection lost. I don't know if it's affecting the. Tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what is happening outside the four walls of the DSS dungeon. Mazi, am I coming out? He's saying my connection lost. I don't know if it's affecting the. Tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what is happening outside the four walls of the DSS dungeon. Mazi, am I coming out? He's saying my connection lost. I don't know if it's affecting the. Tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what is happening outside the four walls of the DSS dungeon. Mazi, am I coming out? He's saying my connection lost. I don't know if it's affecting the. Tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what is happening outside the four walls of the DSS dungeon. Mazi, am I coming out? He's saying my connection lost. I don't know if it's affecting the. Tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what is happening outside the four walls of the DSS dungeon. Mazi, am I coming out? He's saying my connection lost. I don't know if it's affecting the. Tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu what is happening outside the four walls of the DSS dungeon. Mazemai coming out is saying